All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you. This is another episode of the Corporate Life Show with McAden. And before we get started in the conversation today, I want to just quickly apologize to all our audience out there who have been expecting us for over 30 minutes now. It's due to technical challenges. And because we know you are patiently waiting for us, we don't want to cancel on you, and we still make sure that we get into the studio and come live on your screen right now. So thank you very much for holding forth, and thank you for staying tuned. My guest is in the studio with me. Because of our time, we have lost so much time, but then this conversation must take place whether we like it or not. We must go live. I mean, whether network or any technical issues like it or not, I'm sure you like it, and that's why you are staying tuned to us on the show tonight. This is the Corporate Life Show with Mark Aiden. Tonight, we'll be discussing an important topic, an essential topic for everyone, every professional out there. We'll be discussing this topic because we believe it will cause a positive change for you. And guess what the topic is about tonight? Is understanding and deploying the power of networking for business and career growth. And with me tonight discussing this topic is Mr. Kehinde Akintobi. So thank you very much, Mr. Kehinde, for staying tuned and joining us on the conversation at the Corporate Life Studio tonight. How do you feel about discussing this topic, Mr. Kehinde?
Well, thank you for having me. It's a nice conversation to have, especially given that one of the things that makes people successful is not just the technical or functional skills, it's the social and life skills. So it's very interesting to have this conversation this evening.
All right, thank you. It's going to be an interesting one. As you are joining us right now, live at the Corporate Live Show, remember to drop a comment in the comment box. Let us know what you think about the topic of our conversation tonight, and let us know what you feel about each questions as we continue with the conversation. And as we continue with the conversation, which is going to start right now, please let us know where you're joining us from because we like to know you better. And I remain your host. My name is Adeniyi Macarthy. I host this show every Friday evening with a couple of team that help towards bring this live every Friday. So thank you very much once again, Mr. Kennedy, for being on the Corporate Live Show with Mark Aiden. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And we will be starting the conversation immediately without wasting much time. We'll be starting now, and as we start the conversation, we'll be going straight to the what to each of the topics that we have for Mr. Kennedy on the show. Mr. Kennedy, please, can you give me a sign if you can still hear me, please? Let me know.
Yes, please, can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this show is starting proper immediately so that we manage the available time right now. So question one, what is networking and how does it benefit business and career growth?
Okay, so networking is just making the most of the relationships you have, and then they say that the quality of your network is your net worth. So, gathering, working well with all your relationships, making valuable connections, and so that they can become a reference point for the present and the near future. In terms of networking, because we're in the world where it's they say money makes the world go round, but in actual reality, it's people that make the world go round. So we're in a world connected by people. In the work environment, in the business environment, you have your staff, your team members, you have your customers. So when you can network with people, connecting properly with them, it becomes a reference point, and then it is easier for you to navigate life optimally and successfully.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Quickly, can you help us to adjust your camera to bring you to your chest level or to your shoulder level so that we can see you
Okay.
clearly, Mr.
Okay.
Kennedy? Thank you very
Yes,
much.
please.
Exactly. That's the feeling. That's the feeling we want to have there. So the conversation continue. And remember, this is the Corporate Life Show with Mark Aiden, and tonight with me in the studio is no other person than Mr. Kehinde. We'll be discussing this area of what consideration as it affects you being a professional or a business owner out there, or an entrepreneur, whoever you are. This conversation concerns you. And do us or do your friend a favor, join, invite him or her to join us in the conversation tonight. And as we continue to tweet the questions as it relates to the topic. Question two quickly because of our time. What are the key elements of effective networking? Yes, people want to network. Then what are the key elements of effective networking?
Okay, so networking first comes by identifying your objective. Why are you networking? Why are you joining that association? Why are you relating well with that category of people? And then when you identify what your objective is, you now determine the approach. So, in terms of an approach, the first thing is gathering a database. For example, you store contacts on your phone, you have friends on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram. You are able to pull that database and make valuable connections. Like somebody has said quite popularly and in the past, is that when you are saving somebody's name as Kayode, is it Kayode Carpenter? Is it Kayode Businessman? Is it Kayode Human Resources Manager? So that you know exactly how you are indexing the name so that you can use it as a sustainable point of reference. So the other
Mm,
thing is that when you have done all of that, you need to move to the extent of having a value-based relationship. Because I'm sure that some of us have that experience where people only call you when they have challenges or they have needs. And so people just call you and say, oh,
sure.
quick one, quick one, quick one. But you service your relationships by adding
Mm,
value so that when you are, it's a reciprocal relationship, it's not a parasitical relationship. So that when you place a demand, you're already servicing that relationship so that when you place a demand, you work for maybe 22 days or about 30 days in a calendar month, and you get your pay at the end of the month. So you need to service relationships, and then when you make a demand, it's easier for you to make a demand. And then you must not always be on the collecting side. You should also be on the giving side. So those are some of the elements that we'll consider for effective networking. One, you need to clarify your objective. Two, you need to have an active database. Then you need to have value-based relationships. And then you need to mine those relationships. So
mm,
in the area you are going to, for example, from a religious perspective, it says that those that work with wise men will become wise. So
mhm,
your network shows the direction at which your life is going. So if I look at your top
mm,
three friends, it shows me the direction your life is going. If you want to travel abroad, you want to migrate, who are your friends? Have they migrated abroad
mm,
successfully? Are they planning to migrate abroad? If you want to become a human resources director, what's the company that you are? Your company tells me your future potential. So when you spend
mm,
time with those people, it shows me the direction in which your life is headed. So in terms of networking, we also need to be intentional. Intentionality is a part of networking, and we need to get out of the mode of boy meets boy, girl meets girl. Networking is across
mm,
gender, is across religion, is across social class. And some of us, when we get to, that's why they say there's an elevator pitch. When you are in an elevator with Dangote and you have 5 minutes, what do you say? Are you saying, something for the boys? Remember us. Or you are maximizing that opportunity that when he sees your name or he sees your name on his phone, he knows that, yes, I can pick this call. This is somebody important. So it's being deliberate. Why do you need to network? Because you cannot live life on your own. Why do you need to network? Because people have resources that you can leverage on. Why do you need to network? You are going in a specific direction. Those that have been there or are going there can provide support for you. And it's easier to attack one person isolated than a group of people together. So network, as they say, culminates into your net worth.
mm. Interesting, interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I love that. I love that. The part that got to me, that I figure I've been able to adjust to the key element here unconsciously is the area of indexing people's contacts appropriately without knowing I was doing that. I would not save your phone number without having your full name and attaching uh, a location or a business or what connects us together so that I get to know to track who is this on my contact list. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure you that you are listening to us right now, you will appreciate it more, much better when at the end of this conversation you look back and say, oh yes, I think I need to what make this move and take action based on what we've learned. So thank you very much. Question three quickly because of our time. How does work networking differ from online and in-person interaction? Because we see a lot of people get, especially on LinkedIn, where we now have professionals now. This question relates to them. I believe you understand what I mean by the question already. So thank you.
Y- Yes, please. So networking is a broader um, action because, for example, we meet online. That's just the surface level interaction. So
Mm-hmm.
networking is that you are working your net. The people that are in your net, you are working them very effectively. So beyond that initial conversation, do you arrange to meet? Are you consistent in your communication? Somebody cannot have not seen you for about 15 years, 7 years, 5 years, and is placing a demand. So how do you service those relationships? So let's
Mm-hmm.
use some practical examples. You want to work in the oil and gas industry, and then you go on LinkedIn, which is the biggest professional network in the world. You go on LinkedIn and you see some people working in some of your desired oil and gas companies that you want to work with, and you meet somebody and you chat with the person, and you say, "Oh, I would like to speak with you," blah 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 blah, and then he sends you his WhatsApp number. Networking is just starting. How are you engaging him on WhatsApp? Are you following up with a phone call? Are you sending him something on his birthday? Are you sending a message? Are you saying Happy New Year? To the extent that, oh, when we have an event, he's happy to invite you. Oh, it's promoted as work. You are liking his Instagram page, you are liking his LinkedIn page, you are doing things, and then
Mm.
it moves. So you need to work networking. And let me share some examples. When you look at some of the successful role models that we have, you see that they are there for each other. They show up for each other. So you see Alhaji Aliko
Mm.
Dangote traveling for somebody else's wedding. You see somebody coming for another person's wedding. They make themselves available because they are working with the relationship actively. So when you meet somebody online, a lot of people, it's quite funny that you just hear on LinkedIn, please, I need a job. No, you need to work it. Can you say, oh, please, can you keep me posted or can you send me your job site link so that you are just consistent? I've had people in my life that we met on LinkedIn. We invited them over to our office and they would develop a relationship and they grew in their career. So you are deliberate. So out of the, it's just like somebody looking for a life partner. It's not everybody that says hi that you take serious, but people that demonstrate that they have what you are looking for and they are going to add considerable value to your life. And then when we are
Mm.
networking, we must not come with a beggarly mindset. What do you want to
Mm.
take from the networking? Is it if you meet Dangote, rather than asking him for money, can you say, can you recommend 3 books for me to read? They are your best books.
Mm.
You have taken
Mm.
value
I
from
love that.
him.
I love that. I
But
love
a
that.
lot of time you are looking, so, oh, can I work for you for free? I will be on holiday. Can I just be
Mm.
around and be your, assistant, just learn in your company? They see you from a person of value. So come from a
Mhm.
place of differentiation, not a place of commonality. I, for one, personally, this is just my own personal opinion. I'm not somebody that is so starstruck when I see people. Rather, I look for what to learn from them.
Mhm.
So they talk about the Davido, they talk about the Wizkid, regardless of what you say and whatever the peculiarities are. These are people that have spent 10 to 15 years in the studio. So
Mm.
hard work is secret, but the reward is public. So what can you pick from somebody? And then when you are looking at networking, what contact information do you have that you can quickly share? Do you want to have
Mm.
a complimentary card? Because you want to say you are going to meet Dangote and you are going to be telling to put down your number. But when you say, oh, this is what I do, you quickly give him a card and he adds it
Mm.
into his folder. Then he can reference you. And then when I search for you online, what do I see?
Mm.
What's your online digital footprint? So
Mm.
what we see about you, because we are going to investigate about you before we even, I have a professional network that I have and people join. Before people join, we confirm so that we are sure that nobody is going to spam the group. So what do we see online? Who are you? Because that shows your entire identity. So
Mhm.
when you have an opportunity, what do you say about yourself? Or they ask you in an interview, for example, tell us about yourself. You say, I'm from a family of 15 children. My daddy was polygamous. I was the firstborn. That's no, but who are you? I'm a
Mm.
graduate of philosophy. I have a master's degree in engineering. I have 10 years experience in accounting. I'm interested in building the economy of Nigeria. You are speaking very practically targeted to a specific thing so that you arouse interest. When you say Magic Johnson, they say it's a basketballer. When you say Lionel Messi, they say he's a footballer. So you must be easily identifiable in terms of your pursuit, in terms of your purpose, and in terms of your vision. When you say Alhaji Aliko Dangote, we are talking about an entrepreneur, a global entrepreneur, Africa's richest man. So it's clear when you say Tyler Perry, we are saying a director, a film producer, a black American millionaire or billionaire, as the case may be. So we need to be very clear and intentional in terms of networking.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. The conversation continues, and we have much more questions coming on the table right now, and tables are being shaking right now. So, if your table has been shaked, sorry, this is meant to adjust tables for important live opportunity that may come very soon. And we're so thankful, we're so grateful that Mr. Kehinde decided to actually have this conversation with us from a standpoint of a professional. And also, as an entrepreneur, you'll be learning from the conversation. And we will want to continue with the conversation as we continue with the show tonight. Remember, this is the Corporate Life Show with McAden, and we'll be going straight to the next question. Question four says that what strategies are used to build and maintain professional relationship? Now, I want to emphasize more on this question because you mentioned someone like Aligo Dangote. What strategy now will you use to build and maintain professional relationship, even with people that seem unreachable?
Okay, so one of the things that happens is that we must move from the known to the unknown.
Yeah.
If you are looking for time in Dangote's busy schedule, it may typically be impossible to get. Is it possible
Mm,
that Dangote goes for a seminar, then you go there? Is it possible that Dangote has authored a book or somebody has written a book about him, like an autobiography? Then you read it. So there's a way that you have immersed so much about an individual that when you meet him, you are thinking like him, you are talking like him. When somebody writes a book, for example, and the book you may be able to read a book in 30 days, that book may chronicle 30 years of the person's life. So,
mhm,
one, identify what exactly you want to get from that relationship.
mm,
Identify what direction you are going to. So, if you want to get your masters in United Kingdom, then potentially what type of society should you be joining? What type of
mm,
clubs should you be joining? Maybe that's not the time to go and register with Chelsea Football Association because it's not adding value in the direction that you are going. But there are a number of communities, British Council, UNESCO, that are helping you achieve that direction. You want to be a public speaker, something like Toastmasters is something you should be
mm,
looking at because they teach you poised finishing school. So identify where you are going, then you know the relationships that you need. Now, sometimes the relationships that we need are not too far away from us. Like the Nigerian parlance says, what you are looking for in Shokoto may be in your Shokoto, your trouser.
mhm,
So sometimes the relationships you have, your family, your friends, your colleagues, is the starting point. Because if you have
mm,
not made, some people say that talking religiously, they say that, oh, this person is a pastor, but you go to his house and you call him a pastor, and they say, we don't have a pastor in this house. Oh." So people are going to validate your identity within your immediate environment. That's why when
mm,
you join one company, they ask for a reference document from your last employer. People,
mm,
you need to manage the existing relationships. You are born in a family, and it's not a mistake. You didn't have any input into the family you are born in. So even if you were born with silver spoon or wooden spoon or no spoon at all, you at least you may have a pot you can eat from. So what you need to do is manage that relationship, your family, your father, your parents, and then learn it. Now, those relationships are important foundations for you to test, run what you see on the outside. So
mm.
when you have not managed those relationships internally, it's likely that you're going to flop. That's why we come to the workplace, and some people interpersonal skills is a challenge. They have a bad day, only one person likes the page. Nobody knows where they are living. They are isolated. They prefer to work alone. No friend in the office because they've not learned to manage relationships. And in
mm,
managing relationships, you must always put your best foot forward. If you are
mm,
the kind of person, I'm not in the mood, I'm not happy, is that you know, and you are always bringing the worst people. You know, he that he says that he that wants a friend must learn to be friendly.
mhm,
So there are certain people that when they are doing wedding, there is traffic jam because everybody wants to go there because they've made the most impact within their network. But there are certain people that you are wondering that are we not in the same company? When it was this person's birthday, he had like 15 cakes, but this one, even people forgot.
mm,
So in terms of building, that word is important. You are building, laying a foundation for the relationship. A foundation can be what's the objective, what's the purpose, what's the direction of my life, and then you start building. Sometimes
mm,
you don't see any. A lot of us want to have quick wins. We want to have quick gains. When you
mhm,
are building, sometimes people don't see a building. You are building, but people are not seeing the building because you are putting the right foundation. The right foundation maybe you are going to go and read all these books. The right foundation, you are attending all these seminars. The right foundation is that we are applying what he's getting and you are sending him our testimonies that, oh, I read this in your book and I applied it and now I have 500,000. I applied it in this and now my business has grown. You are building. So when you have built and then you can now have a relationship is when that person is reciprocating your gesture. And then you can imagine Tony Elumelu sends you an invite that please, my 50th birthday is coming, you can come. You are building
mhm.
it, you have a relationship. And
Yeah.
then when you go there, give honor to whom honor is due.
Mhm,
Don't always go there and before you went, you would have taken all these things to clear your stomach because you know you are going to eat everything that the waiter brings. Go there and add
mm,
value. Oh, can
mm,
you get an artist to do a portrait and you give it to him? It's your birthday, sir. Happy birthday. Thank you for the audience. Don't send him messages at midnight. Don't wake him up early in the morning. Respect who he is. And then when there is honor in a relationship, it's easier to maintain that relationship. A lot of people take relationships for granted. You don't have courtesy. But you need to manage it. Sometimes we misuse the opportunity we have and then we lack the advantages from that relationship. So when some of us we want to have a network but we don't have a singular functional phone, all our phones are bad. You're always
mm,
charging your phone. Your phone is always on silence. They will call you 31 times, you will not see the missed call. You see the missed calls, you don't have credit on your phone. All your sometimes to reach you is even difficult. So we must
mm,
be very deliberate. You build and maintain. Now, when you are maintaining a car, for example, you are checking it regularly. So you can't just have somebody, you checking on them. How are you? It's been long. How are you doing, sir? How is business? How's the family? Oh, I saw your daughter did 1 year birthday. Please send my greetings to her. Oh, you are doing your birthday. I've written a poem. Please have it. You are maintaining it. Every
mm,
time you drive your car, you do a check or else that relationship is liable to face disaster. If you don't
mm.
check your engine oil, your car can knock. The engine can knock.
Interesting.
If you don't check your radiator, it can overheat. So you need to maintain a
Mm,
relationship. Let me give you an example of a working environment because there's also the impact of a professional relationship. Now, there's a professional relationship between you and your boss, between you and your line manager. Do you understand the likes and dislikes of your line manager? Because you are not just working in an organization, you are working with people. How does your line manager like things to be done? Does he prefer you call him by first name or you prefer you add a mister?
mm,
So understanding, and if we look at the world of football, Jose Mourinho is different from Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola. So understanding the work approach, the personality is very critical in understanding is a key to getting an optimal relationship.
wow, wow, wow. Interesting, interesting. The summary of it all is that understand the need of value. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've also learned a lot from. Oh God, I need to listen again because I'm also busy trying to flow with your comments regarding the question, and then the next question, because of course the next question is question 5. Question 5 says, how can networking support career advancement? Yes, you've met a lot of people. I mean, you give quite some of the examples are out there already from you, but then we need to be specific about this question. How can networking support career advancement and business development?
Okay, so one of the things we must realize is that if we look at how the rich people are successful, we can learn a lot of lessons from them. Rich men are
Mhm,
particular about where they live, rich men are particular about where they go, and the impressions.
mhm,
When you see somebody in business class, there's a reason why he's staying there. When you see somebody living in a coit, there's a reason why he's staying there. So we must first make the most of the relationships that we have. Now, in terms of career development and business development, there is somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can help you.
mm,
So people are working in Shell. It's not robots that are there. If you have had friends working in Shell, potentially when vacancies come out, you may have the opportunity to be called for an interview. It's not all jobs that are advertised. It's not all jobs that are in the newspapers. It's not all jobs that are online. But when you have developed the right community in terms of your networking, you stand at an advantage to access opportunities. And in terms of business development, a lot of business is done in restaurants. A lot of deals are done over tables, you know. So when you position yourselves properly, you access these opportunities. Now, business development is not just about the business, it's about developing relationships that drive the business. So when I relate with you, am I able to refer you to somebody? Do you have a positive impact on me that can recommend you to somebody? So a lot of businesses grow by referrals. A lot
mm.
of when we have an interview, what do you mean? When you have an interview, you want to recommend somebody from the interview. So have you made the right impression within the 30 minutes or 1 hour that somebody can recommend you? Sometimes we're having interviews and you think nobody is watching you. So people are making decisions about you on a daily basis, and that is the reference point for you to manage your network.
Mm, mm. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. People are making comments about you every day, and that is a reference point. That is a great reference point for you to what improve on your networking. Thank you very much, Mr. Kehinde. We've been discussing the matter and its own understanding and deploying net of networking for business and career growth. And with me in the house today is no other person than Mr. Kehinde. And Mr. Kehinde has been doing justice to all the questions we have for him, and he has been helping us to understand how to what manage, start a relationship, build a network, and then sustaining the network. And the conversation we continue shortly after the break. And when we go, thank you. All right. We are back. We are back, and this is the Corporate Life Show with McAden. I guess my guest is still here in the studio with us, having this conversation with us on this matter of understanding and deploying. Because if you don't actually understand, you can't deploy. You won't even know how to use. Someone said, "Is the problem is not actually the tool; it is the user. It is the user. The power of a tool depend on the knowledge base of this user handling the tool." So thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy, and you are welcome back. And we want to continue with the conversation very quickly. We have a very few minutes left for the conversation, and we have quite a number of questions to quickly tackle. What are the next question? What are the benefits of having diverse professional network? Now people
Okay.
jump from different professional relationship, and then what what will you say? Is this something wrong for anyone to do, or is this something right? And what will be the benefit of doing that?
Okay, so a diverse professional network helps you to increase your chances in terms of optimizing resources that you have. So, for example, you are a trained accountant. It's not just good for you to have a network of accountants. You may have a network of human resources professionals. You may have a network of business developers, so that you have a more robust approach and you're not narrow-minded. You're an engineer, you only know engineering, but when you relate with other people, there are different elements of the business. Now, having a diverse professional network increases your opportunities to be developed. When you are developed, you have a robust approach to look at things. You have a very comprehensive outlook on things, and it typically helps you. Now, the life journey that we have is like you are an utility player. In football, when you are only playing as a defender, you are limited in your options. But there are defenders that can take free kick. There are defenders that can take penalty. There are defenders that can play on the wings, that can overlap. So your value has increased because your contribution has increased. So when you have a diverse professional network, it increases your chances of being successful.
Hmm. Interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that response. It increases your chances of what maximizing opportunities. Thank you. So, question seven quickly because of our time. How can networking help overcome challenges and achieve goals?
Okay, so let's give you a funny scenario. So when you are in need of help, your network can come to assist you and provide a solution. Now, do you have if you need 10 million naira now, do you have 20 people, 50 people that can raise that money? So a lot of times we face challenges, but because we lack counsel that comes from a rich network, we are unable to surpass them. So networking is both at the peer level, is both at the leadership level, and it's also at the followership level. So your network should be all encompassing. For example, you need to check something in Abuja. Do you have a network that can reach somebody in Abuja to give you something? Somebody had an issue with the police and he called his network, and over time a solution came, and he got an appeal, and he was able to go scot free. So your network is when you watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, they have phone a friend. Your network can bring you the millions because you have a
Hmm.
resource somewhere, and expertise somewhere. It's just like you go into a supermarket, there are different products. So your network is like the different products on the shelf, that when there's a need for it, you can pick this and it can add value to you.
Wow, wow, interesting, interesting. So, as we advance in the conversation tonight, the next question, which is question eight, is what are some common networking mistakes to us? To I mean, for one to avoid. What are the common mistakes in networking to avoid?
Okay, networking is sustained by effective communication. Some of us, when you don't even have tools like Truecaller on your phone, so when you see a strange number calling you, you say, "Who is that?" You are so rude, and some people have lost opportunities that way. Secondly, lack of courtesy. You are sending
Hmm,
messages before 8 o'clock in the morning, and you are sending messages after 8:30 p.m. in the evening. You are
hmm,
and some of us, you are just calling, you must you 15 missed calls. When you are calling somebody repeatedly, it shows that the person is not able or does not want to pick up the phone. But you are calling,
hmm.
you want to call and run down the battery. Then you need to know what to say to the people that you are within your network. It's not everything you open your mouth and say. So you meet somebody for the first time, you say that in our family we are 15 in number. Nobody asked you because you have not managed that relationship well. You should move from level to level. And then sometimes you are in a network and then you say, "Oh, do you know that I just met Tony Elumelu? Do you know that his favorite food is beans?" You go and start sharing it. Somebody lost her job because she went to the company and started opening video camera to record everything. Meanwhile, on their employment letter, they mentioned that don't put any of our company information in terms of the physical presence online. and the
mm.
first day became our last day. So you get into a place, you're already recording. You have not
Wow.
taken the person's permission, you have put him online,
Exactly.
and then disrespect, and then now becoming like a riffraff, a nuisance to the person.
Mm,
Ah, chairman, don't forget us. The boys are loyal. Chairman,
mm,
we never see your hand.
mm.
Extremely disrespectful.
Over
Why
familiarity.
don't you learn what makes a man to fish rather than the fish? Why
Mm,
don't you learn how to fish? And everybody has something to give.
mm,
Alhaji Aliko Dangote, you are my father's friends, brothers, uncle, blah blah blah, this and that. Can I intern in your company for free
mm,
for 1 month? And if I perform well, please take me on. Alhaji Aliko Dangote, can I manage your social media page? You are coming from a point of value, but when you are always coming from a point of collecting,
mm,
it's quite disheartening. So you must understand who the person is. You must understand how the person interacts, and then make the most of that relationship. Then one of the challenges is you don't maintain contacts, you don't maintain relationships. You
mhm,
are not using technological tools, so you lost your phone, so you lose all your contacts. There are
mm,
other ways you can digitalize. You have all this memory online, you have Google Drive, you have other things, so that if you lose a phone or a phone gets bad, you can restore. Because if you lose a contact, you have nearly lost a relationship. You can't
yeah.
contact. And some of us are very inactive online. LinkedIn, you
Mm,
are not there. Facebook is
very
as
key
if
one.
even your phone is do not disturb, because you are the richest man in Nigeria that they don't want to disturb you. Your phone
Mhm,
does not receive bulk SMS. Your phone, you put it do not disturb. Your WhatsApp status, there's nothing there. And sometimes the person knows 15 coyotes and is trying to identify who is the one that spoke with me at the conference. But there's no picture on your WhatsApp, there's no picture on your LinkedIn, there's no picture on your Instagram. You are disabling everything because the whole world is looking for how to steal money from you. So
mm,
what we need to do is make ourselves easily identifiable, and then that can make the conversation sweeter for us.
mm. Interesting, interesting, interesting. This has been an interesting conversation here on the show at the Corporate Life Show, and I can tell you, of course, what you have gotten from this show is not a value. A watered value conversation on the on the show tonight is a value pack, and you need to listen and re-listen so that you can get the best of what has been discussed so far. And because of our time, I just quickly want to go to the next question, please. Question 9 says, how can networking be leveraged for mentorship and knowledge sharing?
Okay, so it's one of the things you can do is to identify who you want to be a mentor. That person must be giving value to you. Pep Guardiola mentored some other coaches. Luis Van Gaal mentored some other coaches. So there's something you must get, and it comes from the place of learning. So before you approach the
Mhm,
person physically, are there materials about the person? Are there videos about the person? Are there seminars that the person coordinates? You can learn as
mm,
much. Oh, before you go and meet your Maxwell, that please come and be my mentor. Can you read 20 of his books? Can you join his mentorship program? Can you join his seminar? So those are materials that you can leverage on. Now, mentorship is something you can leverage on from a networking point of view. So mentorship says that this person has gone ahead of me, and this person is an indicator into what I can potentially become in the future. So,
mhm,
hello, sir. Hello, ma. You are an HR director. I'm a human resources business partner. Are there some things you can guide me? They may give you assignments. Go and read about this book. Come and follow me to
mm,
this seminar. And then, as you are there, knowledge is being shared, opportunities are being shared, connection is being shared. So identify the right people, and they have so many people coming to them. So you must be a person of distinctive value,
mm,
distinctive humility. You must not be impatient that this person, I called her 3 times, I sent her SMS, she's busy. But if you are at the place that they are likely to be found, it's likely that you'll be found. So
mm,
if you look at the person, Pastor Ebikun Awoshika is a pastor. She's the chairman of SOCWA. So she has a church she goes to. She has a leadership mentorship program. She has a mentorship for women. She is a member of women in business and politics. So if you attend any of these programs, the likelihood of you meeting her frequently is high. So it's about positioning so that you can now make the most of that mentorship opportunity.
Wow, wow, interesting. Positioning so that you can make proper use of the opportunity that may come from that angle. So our last major question will be question 10. Yes, question 10 says, what are the key metrics for measuring the success of networking uh, efforts? Because yes, it's not enough. It is never enough to network with someone and keep the relationship. How do you measure the what? The outcome or the success of that networking relationship?
Okay, so one is value. What value have you gotten from that networking? What value? Value in terms of learning, value in terms of input, value in terms of contribution. So networking results can be measured in terms of value. And then you can get it in terms of what is the reciprocal relationship. So if, for example, we meet 10 people, how many of them are interested in also networking with us? So if we are not getting positive feedback, that means maybe we are networking with the wrong set of people or we didn't position ourselves properly. So networking should be something that is mutual. I want to network with you because I see value in you, and then you also want to network with me because there's value. So reciprocity is one of the ways that we can. So it's just like, can two work together except they be agreed? There has to be some alignments and agreement of values. So when we have networking, before you network, you have a conversation so that you find out areas of alignment and areas of mutual benefit, and then that can get a place of value. Then what you do is measure growth. So I met this person at a seminar. In terms of our relationship, has it grown? Has it been built? Because we used to say hello, we used to say hi, but now we are speaking more frequently, we're having better conversations, we are meeting in person, we are attending events together. So has it grown? So we can look at it from a place of value, we can look at it a place of reciprocal relationship, and we can look at it as a place of growth. Then one other thing is, what outcomes do we have? You networked with somebody and he recommended you for a vacancy. You networked with somebody and he referred you for a business opportunity. What are the tangible outcomes? What are the tangible results from the networking opportunity?
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And the last question, but not the least, but then before we go into the last question, I have something for our audience out there. And please bear with us. I'm inviting you to join this important program, especially if you are a student. How do you cash out? Stop begging for quick 2,000 naira from that colleague of yours in the class or from an uncle at home. So one of our team member here at the Corporate Life Show is organizing this event, and the event actually started yesterday night. And because we are having this conversation tonight, and because networking is very important, I would like you to take this opportunity as what if we keep from us at Corporate Life, because of us, the registration date was extended. I mean, had been extended till the end of today. After the end of today, registration will be closed permanently, and maybe in the nearest future you will be able to what join the next cohort of the Cash Out Lord program, and it's a program that is geared towards helping youth become a what self-dependent and not necessarily depending on parents. You can see the highlights there: money mindset block, offer creation, offer marketing, financial intelligence. Also, we have some bonuses there: creating your first digital product, and sales challenge also will be organized in this. I mean, these are the things you have the benefit of what taking taking out from this event if you join the event. So thank you very much for taking time to what listen to this information. And then if you want to be a part of the event, you can just reach us on our social media platform for more information about the event. So thank you very much. Quickly, we want to go back to the last question as we conclude the conversation today on the show with Mr. Kehinde, who has been dealing so well with each of our conversation, which each of the topics we're having what conversation over. So, last question, any last word for us as we conclude the conversation tonight?
Okay, so networking is not just an event or an action, it's a lifestyle. So you should have your complimentary cards, you should have a functional phone, you should be active online so that you are looking for something. You are quickly looking for somebody that can add value to you, and you walk up to him or her, introduce yourself and get a contact, then maintain that relationship. Now, all networking seeds may not become fruits, but you are consistent, because it's
Mm,
not everybody that comes for the interview that gets the job. It's not every person that asks about a product that becomes a client. So you need to be consistent and keep your head going. There are so many people that Dangote has spoken to that said no, but there were a few people that he spoke to that said yes. That's why he's where he is right now.
mm. Interesting, interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that last word. Not every networking seed will eventually become a what? A fruit. That is a powerful one. That is the word you should take out of the conversation tonight so that you don't feel disappointed when things do not go your way, especially if you are out there looking for an opportunity that will be given back to from your network, your network. So thank you very much, Mr. Kende. We appreciate you for joining us in the studio tonight, and we do not take you for granted, even when we had issues regarding, I mean, technical issues behind the studio here. You still stay behind to wait for us, and this is the reason why we want to say a very big thank you to you on the show from all of us at Corporate Live. We say a very big thank you to you once again with a bow. Thank you very much because you've actually dealt with all our questions. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having me. Wonderful time together.
So tonight it's been a lovely one. It's been a lovely one, and we appreciate you for joining us. And remember, next week is another time where we'll be discussing an important topic here at the Corporate Life Show with McAden. And till we see again, I wish you all a very great weekend. Bye bye for now. All right.